What is up? Matt Pratt here. Vlogging in the airport. And we're heading to SEMA. And I'm talking quiet because this is weird. I'll see you on the plane. Well, we made it. Airport of Las Vegas. I get our bags, find a room, and get to SEMA. So we tried out this Link hotel. It's called the Link, right? Link. And I kept pronouncing it wrong. And we did MGM last year, but we didn't need all that. The Link was actually pretty cheap. We're only here for a couple days. I'm just following up on a couple cars I've been following on YouTube and Instagram. I just kind of want to see them in person. But now I have a list of those that I'm going to see, and after that I'm definitely going to just, you know, capture whatever I run into and what I think's interesting. So let's get on this. And the first car we run into is Checkered Sports EG6. Now I'm a Honda kid at heart, and I can tell this thing is built really, really well. Has a K-Series motor, looks like it's blacked out. A lot of dimple dyeing going on in the engine bay. I like the strut tower bar. It's actually behind the struts against the firewall. The wing is huge. Definitely a time attack style wing, full carbon fiber. Goes to the roof, and I believe the roof is Kevlar. See, it's right-hand drive, completely gutted interior. It's got the race car sliding windows. Suspension is perfect, not too much, not too little. In the back here, on the opposite side of the driver, has a fuel-safe fuel cell. There's a good look at the wing and how it connects to the roll cage. Engine bay is completely shaved, wire tucked. Really good looking engine bay for a track car. Got oversized fenders with some vents, and if you can see in there, the vent cutout actually wraps around behind the tire. So this is B is for Bill's Lamborghini Huracan, Burnicon, I think they called it. The interior looked pretty put together for put together last minute. You see the turbos hanging out the top. It's a 15-inch wide rotiform. Looks like it could use a thicker tire. But yeah, so twin turbo Garrett's LS motor. They took out the V10 or V12 or whatever it had in it. I don't know how they made it to the trans, but they did. And it's wired up and it runs. This body kit is part of a GT body kit, but it's also had some help designing it from a Instagram renderer. Yeah, I like the open wheel concept, how much tire hangs out of there. This car I think should get a lot more attention. This is a 944 Porsche with an LS motor in it. You can see the throttle body setup. It's got a molded on wide body kit. The colors in here go together really well, gray and blue. But that molded on body kit was done really, really well. Like the splitters, how it's the color of the car, I like that. The clear tail lights, the little cage accents, like I've never seen that before. This looks really good. So this is a PPG booth. They are known for having a lot of color in their booth. They're really pushing custom colors. I mean, the flake that you see on these is something you'd see from like House of Colors or something. I wish this camera picked up the color of this red, because this red was a lot stronger. Even painted the trash cans in here. Bike with some gold leaf on it. Pretty cool for PPG to have their booth look like this. This looked really good. I think this was done by Rides by Cam. This motor setup just kind of flowed together really well. That whole grill is the duck for that motor. That is awesome. This car I've been seeing popping up on the internet every now and again. I guess those are equal length headers, and I guess you can't do that underneath of the car, so that's what it looks like when you do it. You have to make room for it. This body kit was also designed by a renderer on Instagram. Really, really cool setup. Looks really good. Them headers are insane. And it made the car sound like a rotary. It's an LS motor in there also. You can see the radiator fans, they got a kind of like a V mount to it. Car was put together really, really well. That body kit really fits BMWs really well. This is a Hakasuko. It's an old Skyline coupe with a 2J in it. I'd rather see it with an RB, but it is what it is. Kevlar seats painted inside and out. Cantilever suspension. That was really cool. So this was a EA Civic, a really old Civic, like an '89. It's got slicks all the way around. I looked under to see if it was all-wheel drive. It didn't look like it was all-wheel drive. Of course, I'm not used to looking at that suspension. Looks like it had a Mugen wing. I think those are Mugen seats. Mugen shift knob. Kinsler throttle bodies. Man, it looks so good. This is TJ Hunt's Ferrari. He built this on YouTube. It was wrecked. Hunt & Company Rails, that's his company. The type of green it is really cool. It's like kind of like a really dark gray green. I really like it. Really cool idea. This thing was ridiculous. I think it's an LS motor, twin turbo. I mean, definitely track style. Black sand windows all over it. The interior was mint, inside and out, all color matched. Glowing red, which matched a red engine bay. On a satin gray car, it looked ridiculous, man. Side exit exhaust. Such a good look for this car. So, there was two of these. They're Porsche Spyders, and I think they're by the same group that built them, S Club. And last year they had a Mercedes, gullwing door Mercedes, that had the same color scheme, blue and gray. This one they added copper to it, which is really cool. This one is turbo. Looks really cool. I like how they did the tires in blue too, and it all matches. Now this one is center drive and all motor, and when you close the hood or the hatch, whatever you want to call it, the stacks actually come through the hatch. This is Button Built's Ferrari 355. I hope it's on air. That thing is low. Custom made wide body kit. Fully polished turbos and turbo piping. I love the style of this car, man. I like the wrap. Wrap makes it look like it's old and abused. Used and abused. I like the fence and the bumper. It's kind of like a Honda thing. I like it. Watch it be factory. I like that wing a lot. So those quarter panels come from Sunburst one piece. You have to cut the old quarter panels off and mount those on. That wing looks so clean. Gotta give love to the Samurai. Don't worry, I have one of these. You'll see it one day. It's a spoiler alert. A little bit of off-roading. This is one huge Jeep. I just like seeing weird vehicles like this. This was probably an army vehicle, and it's decked out with this overland look, like a tire tread print interior. It's got all the electronics on display out here. Super clean underneath. It wouldn't last a day looking like that with me. I like the inside. It's got this little rescue thing going on in there. The other thing looks like a fax machine. No clue what it was. Man, this Wagoneer, the wood paneling was on point. This thing was restored inside and out. And the best part, it had a canoe to match it. They refinished the canoe. Such a clean car. These things are worth so much. Hidden behind this jersey wall was a Phantom S13. Like, look how little and wide it is. I'm using my S14, just feels bigger. But This thing is so wide. It's a weird tow hook. The interior was really good looking. A lot of matching white. I'm pretty sure that was like a silver on the outside. This thing, I walked by it twice, man. I didn't realize it was a Hyundai. Look at that. That is a nice setup. Liberty Walk Lamborghini. I walked by it earlier, but there's too many people around it and I could really see it. Definitely a wide Lamborghini. I think it's a Huracan too. That wing is so original. And this one doesn't have a rear bumper. It's exposing the rear turbos, which I think is really cool. Looks like the car is like falling apart, but it actually looks really badass. Carbon fiber NSX race car. I mean, the weave was like perfect all the way across. It was nuts. This thing looked really good. This blue was standing out so much. They called it a Type S concept. It looked pretty good, man, and I really like the carbon fiber they put in there. Over here at the Sickens booth, I could not get this color out of my head. Like, I want to find this color and put it on something. Like, look at that. This was really cool. 2J 300Z and Freed Engineering, which is a shop I use back home, actually had a lot to do with this one. So this is a old Datsun, like it said Fairlane on the back, but it's like a Roadster. And that same company, Freed Engineering, I deal with, they actually did the headers on this car. I'm gonna come around here. So it's got an SR20 in it, and he did the headers, and he did a couple other things too. But the headers look so good. He did such a good job. So work equipped wheels. Came over to the SEMA booth to see if there's anything new. Nothing really new. Last year they presented the SEMA 5500. I think they had a new version of the Phaser this year, but nothing crazy. The only Mark IV Supra in the whole place. I love these road race split nose Camaros. Spoiler alert, I have one of these. And I love the suspension setup on it. Trucks for days, man. There are more trucks than cars here. It was insane. Everything was 40s or bigger. This was really cool, Gladiator front end on a new JL Jeep. So this is one of the 3D printing booths that I visited, and this thing right here was not assembled, it was printed, comes right out of the printer just like that, ready to work. And this is a 3D printed dash that they glued together. It was crazy how far 3D printing has came. So I watched Throttle build this car on YouTube and it looked really, really good. Like I was really impressed the way it came out. They built it so fast. So this Audi was different. Let's see if I can get a peek in the window here. Yeah, had a Lamborghini motor in there. Really cool. This is Chip Foose's Jaguar. He just finished up. We're over here in the Glazzer booth now. Really cool car. The front end of that car is so long. This is Casey's Ford pickup truck. I think it's like a F100. Casey Paint Shop. He was the painter that used to be on Gas Monkey Garage. Yeah, he picked a really cool green. I think it's like an LS motor setup in there or something. It might be a Ford motor. It might be like a Coyote. He probably put a Coyote motor in there. Interior looks so good. Alright, this is my kind of rat rod right here. I mean, look at all the studs all over it. It's got weld wheels on it. They're like skinnies for a drag car. The frame is insane. Or the theme of the interior goes with the car. It's a Hemi motor with a blower on it. Cantilever suspension on air. That thing is sick. Really badass Toyota FJ. With the LS motor in it. One day I'll have something like this. This is that famous 4-rotor RX-7. It's all over the internet. This thing sounds ridiculous. Really cool setup. This thing was really cool, man. The fuel cell in the back, radiator in the back. The interior was race seats. I mean, this was like a rat rod that you could like, you know, road race with. So this car was ridiculous, and you'll see why. I think that is 3 superchargers on a huge motor. I think that's 3. 1, 2, yeah, 3. That is ridiculous. Like, where do you get the belt for that? And not only one, but there was 2 of these cars. Now this one was built a little different. As you see, it's got a turbo, and then it's got a supercharger, and then it has another turbo. Yeah, so twin turbo supercharged. Ridiculous. Crazy. So this section right here is for the overland vehicles. Real quick, we can't ignore these T37s. As you can see, all these vehicles have tents over top of them. I actually have a soft spot for this. I want to build an overland vehicle just like this FJ60. Peek up in there and see it's got an LS motor. Pretty ridiculous. Thing was clean, man, mint. The interior was insanely clean. Looked like OEM factory spec. Really cool vehicle. Well, this concludes my SEMA coverage footage video. If you notice, you didn't see any new Supras. Well, I actually saved them for the end. We're just going to skim through them as I close out this video. I believe there was 43 of them, and I'm sure you guys have seen enough of this. Anyways, feel free to like, comment, share this video, and feel free to check out all the other videos on my channel. Like I said, I'm Matt Pratt. All I do is build stuff in my home garage and keep it on film. And I actually have another video coming out after this, working on my garage. That's another thing I'm going to include too. So anyways, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week.